White House Budget Office Director Russ Vought is instructing federal agencies to prepare for mass layoffs if the government shuts down next week. Joining us now with where things stand in the Senate, Tennessee Republican Senator Bill Hagerty. We decided to intro you and lead with the blackmail that they're saying is coming from the Republican side. We need to start with the original blackmail.
I think the true source of the blackmail is the $1 trillion ask that Chuck Schumer came up with. This is really up to the Democrats right now, Joe. They have had the opportunity. What we've been doing in the U.S. Senate is dealing with Chuck Schumer's massive shutdown strategy. He's done everything he can to block the floor of the Senate. You've seen what's happened with the slowdown in all of our nominees, just not allowing President Trump to put his appointees in place. We haven't been able to finish our appropriations bill. We need more time. This is the same budget that Democrats have voted for in the past.
They already voted for it.
Again, they decided to vote against this budget just last Friday. We'll see where they land this coming week, but the threats they're holding out, I think, is really simply a response to showing that they're willing to fight Trump, to showing they won't take a knee to Trump. This is much more of a political theater than it is anything in reality.
But does that mean we're more likely to wind up in an actual shutdown?
I think there's a high chance of that, and I know my colleague Ron Johnson will be on later today. Ron has put forward legislation that will stop this shutdown mess because it allows for these blackmail situations. We'll just continue, and we'll actually keep working until we get an appropriations package in place. We can do that. The Democrats don't seem to want to do that because they love the theater here, and I don't think they want to see the consequences of this.
Schumer gave up the, how do you say it? He said, a lot of my colleagues are really furious that we acquiesced last time, and they're angry, and this time I'm not going to do it.
It's even the choice of words, an acquiescence.
Yeah.
This is a continuation of the budget that they all voted for. And it's their fault that we haven't been able to put the appropriations bills on the floor.
You saw Senator Shaheen yesterday. Is, in her view, I don't know if she's speaking for the whole, all the Democrats in the Senate, but she said if she could get the ACA credits or even negotiate something before November 1st, he seemed to indicate that maybe they would do it. Is there any possibility there's some Republicans that want to do it?
Yeah, the place to do that is to work through the appropriations process with us rather than hijack the process here, hold up to the last minute, and then see if you can negotiate something in a back alley. That's not the way we're going to proceed. The Republicans have been very clear. We're willing to move this forward. Let's just keep the government open. We'll see what they do.
You think President Trump, I mean, he is mercurial, and sometimes he gets mad, and they're calling it a temper tantrum. The Democrats are that he refused to, after agreeing to meet, that then he wasn't going to. But do you think in his calculus, he thinks that the Democrats are going to go through with it this time, and he wants them to?
Well, first, Joe, I think that's a very unfair representation. Mercurial, temper tantrum. No, he saw the demands, which were so unrealistic.
No, he is mercurial. I don't know if this was a temper tantrum.
But over this particular issue, I think it was very clear. There's no point in meeting when the demands were so outrageous. Another $1 trillion of expenditure.
My question was, does he actually want? Is he ready to have the government shut down? Because the Democrats will be blamed for it.
I think if you look at the memo that Russ Vought put out, he's basically going to win either way, because he's going to accelerate the reduction in force that he wants to see happen. The government is bloated. We all know that. We're spending way beyond our means right now. And so if they do shut it down, we'll see the reduction in force accelerated. If they don't shut it down, we'll continue to negotiate and hopefully get to a much better result. Much more responsible. I was just in our national park, the Great Smoky Mountains National Park yesterday. We don't want to see that shut down.
Can you add up, can you get it to $1 trillion for me so I know exactly what, are some of the demands just crazy? Do they want health care for illegal immigrants?
That's correct.
That's part of this.
Health care for illegal immigrants.
How much does that cost?
It's a huge part of the number.
Hundreds of billions?
Yes, it's hundreds of billions.
What
Same
else?
for able-bodied people between the ages of 18 and 64 who had a Medicaid extension during the pandemic. They want to continue that, even though these people are capable of working, don't have dependents, and they're not willing to work 20 hours a week. Get this, Joe. If they're not willing to work 20 hours a week, they shouldn't be getting paid.
How about the ACA health credits? Those were since the pandemic. The increased ones, weren't they?
Yeah, I think that's a sensitive area, and I don't have the exact figures right now in terms of what it would cost.
But some
where is their actual agreement, though?
The Tuber bill, I think there's about 8 Republicans that are amenable to that because of their own constituents in their states.
Yeah, and those discussions could be ongoing.
But Ron Johnson is not. Are you okay with it? Would you do the ACA stuff, but not in this bill? But
yeah, no. And personally, I wouldn't do it at all.
You wouldn't do it at all.
The ACA has gotten out of control. We need to.
You wouldn't do it at all.
No.
So you'd say
But
no
you
to.
said there's 8 Republicans who would sign on.
And I haven't polled, and we've got to go through that process. You've heard this from various offices, but we should be going through the appropriations process. There's always a give and take. I serve on the Appropriations Committee. That's the way to get this done, as opposed to wait to the last minute, hold your breath, and see if you can force somebody to blink.
You also serve. Oh, go ahead.
No, I just wonder what else is in there that specifics to get it to $1 trillion. And I do think it's kind of. I think it's kind of rich that the Democrats can ask for all these things and really are going to say if the Republicans don't agree to us on this, they're shutting the government down, not us.
I think this is a constant tug of war to see who can get the blame. That's the political.
I mean, Republicans have done it too. All the Freedom Caucus guys said, if we don't cut, I'm not going to sign, and it'll be the Democrats. It's a Schumer shutdown. This time, it really is a Schumer shutdown.
It really seems clear to everyone at this point that that's where it will be. And I think Schumer's under a tremendous amount of pressure. In March, I think what he did was save his party by continuing to keep the government open. But he's under a great deal of pressure.
You think he's in a situation like McCarthy then, who lost the speakership because he was trying to do what he thought was the right thing?
It could be a situation like that for Chuck Schumer. I don't know how to evaluate the shrill cries from the far left that he's trying to deal with, but it's obvious he's under a great deal of pressure.
Shrill cries, I like that.
You also sit on the Foreign Relations Committee.
That's right, Becky.
And there have been so many questions asked about these Russian incursions into NATO airspace, whether it be with drones or with actual fighter pilots. It's been growing. The conclusion seems to be, at least from the West, that this is intentional and that Putin is testing NATO's, whether NATO will actually respond or just continue to allow it to happen. What should we do?
Well, as you said, I'm on the Foreign Relations Committee. Any incursion in NATO space is a violation of our treaty with NATO. I mean, it invokes our treaty with NATO, I should say. It's a challenge to the United States. And look, we've had it here on our own soil, Becky. We've had a Chinese spy balloon flying over our country. Sensitive areas being surveilled by drones, and we don't know the source of these drones. Now that it's happening in Norway, we've seen the incursions in Poland, in other countries.
Estonia,
I do think,
Romania, goes on and on.
It does go on and on. I think they are testing us, and I think it's a wake-up call for NATO. It's a wake-up call for all of us, and this shall not be overlooked. I mean, we need to take this
NATO's
very
generals
seriously.
said that they should be shot down. That at this point, though, would you agree with that?
These drones are violating space. They can't say this is an accident. They're sending these drones.
Not just drones. Would you shoot down a fighter pilot?
I think that's one that I have to leave that to the field commanders to decide the degree of the extent of the incursion. But it's that serious that's the question that should be asked.
Do you have any insight into all these, the Hegseth move, all these 800 senior military officials getting together? What is that just to appraise the situation? I guess. I mean, things are a little scary right now, are they not?
The answer is I don't know, and if I did, I probably couldn't say much about it.
You definitely don't know. It's not that you're not saying.
No, I don't.
I would say I can't. I would just pretend I knew and just say I can't say.